All right, so welcome everyone to this Raising Our Vibration meditation for Saturday, July 19th, 2025, or Sunday the 20th, if you're on the other side of our planet. Thank you to Enlightened World Network for hosting us on your wonderful platform. If you're not familiar with Enlightened World Network, they host a guided meditation every day. You can check out their Facebook page for that. And today, also welcome to everyone who joined us on Zoom and also those who are watching the recording. So thanks to everyone who's joining into this practice. This practice today is a pretty extensive practice, so get ready. Make sure you have, if you need to get something to drink or have a really comfortable seat for meditation, you may also want to have a something to write on in case you want to make notes at the end. I'm going to let one more person in there. Okay. And so this practice today is called the Essene Tree of Life. Okay. And so where does this come from? Um, Recently, this past spring and then also this last week, my wife and I, and in the spring, my dad and also our younger son, Will, went to see the Dead Sea Scrolls. And it was an exhibit that was here in Simi Valley at the Reagan Library. And so they had lots of artifacts, lots of history around the Dead Sea Scrolls there. And the Dead Sea Scrolls were found in clay jars in caves by the Dead Sea. And apparently they were hidden there by the Qumran Essene community right about the time that Rome was going to come through and just wipe out the Jewish temple in Jerusalem and wipe out the Essene community and really just take dominance of that area. So they hid these scrolls in these clay jars that enabled them to survive intact. Survive in a way that lots of them could be read up until now. And so after we went to see the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I got really interested in the Essenes and who the Essenes were. So apparently some of the followers of Jesus were Essenes, potentially, possibly John the Baptist might have been an Essene. Jesus' parents might have been Essenes. Jesus himself might have been an Essene. But what's interesting about the Essenes to me is that they were a community that was all about the integration of heaven and earth, so to speak. So they were really into holistic health, into the health of the body, into cleansing the body, the heart, the mind, to be a vessel for the light. And so that's what really fascinates me about them, even though there's a lot we don't know about them, and a lot of what we do know, there's controversy around, but it's very clear that they were a really dedicated community of spiritual practitioners that was all about not only health, but also spiritual practice. And so as I was scouring around the internet um, for information on the Essenes, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up this image that I found. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay, that's not the screen I'm wanting to share. I want to share this one, and that's not it either. And that was from Ebby. Hi, Ebby. Thanks for joining us today. That was from a while back. There we go. So the Essene Tree of Life. So I found this really interesting graphic. And so I want to give you a brief explanation of this. Don't try to read it all. It's kind of small. But I want to give you a few. First of all, I just think it's a fascinating picture. You have this meditator right in the center of this tree, right? And underneath the meditator are these seven roots. And above the meditator are these seven branches. And the idea of this is that the seven branches up here are spiritual qualities. Okay. And the seven roots down here are earthly or elemental qualities. And going straight up, we have uh, and they call these angels. So, but you can think of them maybe as energies or qualities, um, whatever resonates for you. We're good, since we usually use embodying qualities or energies, I'll use that terminology. But going straight up, you have what they call the Heavenly Father, which is the pure I am presence. Going straight down is the earthly mother, that nurturing um, Mother Earth presence. And then, so each of these relates to each other in a line. So if you go up then to the upper right branch, this one's called eternal life. So it's connecting to that timeless essence of our being. And then down diagonally to earth, this is related to the regenerative powers of the earth and the earth energy. And then we go up here to creative work. This is about purpose, which brings abundance down to earth in our life. This is called life, and life is about um, strengthening our limbs and our body for this creative work that we're here to do. So you see that relationship. And then you go here to peace. This is about inner peace, and that relates over here to joy, the joy in the beauty of creation. Then we go up here to the limb of power, which is about having our actions be guided by a higher spiritual force. And that relates down here to the energy of the sun, which is empowering our solar plexus. Okay, so we're empowered to do divinely guided actions. So you can see the relationship there. Then you go up here to the energy of love, which purifies our emotions. That relates down here to the element of water, which our emotions are often associated with water and also with the blood and with the heart. So you can see the relationship of love to water. And then finally, up here to wisdom. And wisdom is to enlighten our thoughts and inspire our thoughts. And then that goes down here to air, which we inspire. Okay, so the air is inspired into our lungs, and um, and and that brings energy to our life. So we're going to go through that in that order that I described. An interesting thing was, according to this diagram, this was a practice that was done by the Essenes and is currently done by Essene groups these days in a weekly cycle. So you had Friday evening, the Shabbat, the Sabbath. Friday evening, they started with the Pure I Am, and then Saturday morning, they go to the Earthly Mother. Saturday evening, we go here. Sunday morning here. Sunday evening there. Monday morning here, and so on through the whole week. And they would cycle through their week, focusing on one energy each day to embody that energy each day. So just a fascinating setup for a week of practice to embody all these qualities. So we're going to be um, ambitious today in that we're going to um, do all of these in one meditation session. So we're going to cycle through all of these to bring a sense of integration and balance of all these energies. Um, and so let's move into that practice and see how it goes. I'm going to stop screen sharing for the moment. But just so you have an idea about that image, which I think is pretty compelling. And also in our practice, we're going to if you have the top of your head here, the crown point, you can maybe think of the branches as coming out of the crown. Just so as you are feeling this, you can feel like the branches come out of your crown, and then the roots come out of your tailbone and perineum. So you can just feel as if the roots are going down into the earth from your tailbone or perineum. Okay. So hopefully that'll give you an image of the practice and some idea of the concepts behind it. And let's go ahead and move right into this practice. So as always, let's take our comfortable upright seated position and have your feet firmly on the ground, if that's comfortable for you. Have your hands cupped in your lap, one resting in the other with thumbs touching lightly, and that nice open, receptive posture. Again, if that's comfortable for you. And then lightly close your eyes. That was a lot of information to take in. Now give yourself a moment just to settle in your seat. And be present in your body. So your body, heart, and mind. This is the vessel for embodying all these energies, all these qualities, the heavens and the earth. So just take a moment to settle into your body, settle into your seat. Be present right here and now. And feel out into the space all around you as a sacred space. A sacred space for your practice, for our practice here together. And as you sit in this sacred space, this group space, allow your intention to be open and curious. And just see what you discover. As we go through this practice, just see if you can be open to it without any preconceptions, just feeling into how all this presents itself to you. And know that it will unfold in just the right way for you. And as we begin our practice, let's dedicate it to the benefit of all beings. That we all might become more tuned in to the life of spirit, life of the elements within us, and know our connection with each other through the one life we all share. And now let's prepare for this practice with our posture points. First, focusing down into feeling the sensations of contact of the soles of your feet on the ground. So you might wiggle your toes or press your feet down. and then allow them to soften and relax as if they're melting deep down into the earth. Feel down into the consciousness of the earth, this nurturing elemental consciousness. Allow that grounded presence of the earth to flow up through the soles of your feet, up through your shins and calves, up through your knees and thighs, into your hips and pelvic bowl, resting down in your seat. Feel the weight of your body resting down in your seat, resting down on the earth. Feel that connection to the earth through your seat, through your tailbone and perineum. Now focus into your palms and fingers resting cupped in your lap. Awaken sensory awareness here in your hands and allow your hands to soften and relax as if they are melting down into your legs. Feel the soft openness in your hands, connected with the soft openness of your heart. And as your hands relax even more, allow your arms and shoulders to relax down, releasing any tension in your shoulders, neck, and your head. Imagine and feel as if a string is attached to the top of your head, drawing your spine gently upright, like the trunk of this tree of life. Feel as if this trunk of the tree of life extends from your perineum and tailbone, right up through the core of your body, right up through the top of your head. And down at the base of this trunk are the roots of this tree, extending deep down into the earth in 7 different branches. And at the top of the trunk are the limbs of the tree, extending upward and outward, the 7 limbs. Spreading out into the sky above, absorbing all those spiritual qualities from above, just as the roots absorb all the elemental qualities supporting life on Earth. So see if you can feel this whole tree at once. Feel the trunk up through your core, the roots down below, the limbs reaching up and out above. Feel the wholeness of this tree of life. Now let's explore each of these 14 limbs and roots. Beginning first by feeling straight up through the crown, as if this limb is just extending straight up to source, straight up to the pure I am presence. And this upward rising limb, this receives that pure I am presence. Tunes you into it and brings it down. Feel that quality of pure I am, pure being. Allow that energy to flow down into the trunk of the tree, down into your heart. And now feel down into the roots, first straight down into that root right in the center, right down through your tailbone, your perineum and tailbone, straight down into the energy of Mother Earth, that nurturing presence. Feel down through that root, straight down into that nurturing presence, which provides everything you need for life here on Earth. And feel that root absorbing that nurturing quality. Feel that quality absorbed up through that root, all the way up into your heart. Now we go up through the trunk of the tree and out the crown, and just slightly to the right, that branch, just to the right of the most vertical branch, that upper right branch. This branch is eternal life, that timeless essence that we are. Feel into the eternity of now. Timeless. Let that upward branch absorb that timeless essence of being. That undying, unborn essence. Allow that branch to absorb that. You'll feel that flowing down through the branch, down through the top of your head and down into your heart. Knowing your undying nature in your heart. Now from your heart, go down through the trunk again to your sacrum, and now to the root just to the left of that vertical root. So the left root is the root of earth. Earth as in its regenerative capacity. Feel the regenerative powers of the earth. Feel those regenerative powers of the earth connected to your reproductive organs. And that regenerative energy renews all your cells. Your cells are in a process of constant renewal, guided by this regenerative power of the earth. So absorb that regenerative energy up through that root, through your reproductive organs and up into your heart. Now we go up the trunk, up to the crown, and out again to the right, just slightly lower branch on the right side. Branch of creative work, purpose that leads to abundance. Tune into this branch. This branch connected with creative work, purpose, and abundance. Drawing in that energy. Feel that energy of creative work, purpose, abundance flowing in along that branch. Flowing in through the top of your head, down through the trunk of the tree into your heart. And from your heart down through base of the trunk into the root. On the left side, again, just above that root we were in for the earth, into the root of life, the life force that strengthens our limbs and our body to fulfill that creative purpose. So feel into that root, lower left, a little higher, that previous root, that life force energy. Brings strength to our limbs, to our body, to fulfill those creative purposes. Absorb that life force energy in through that root. And feel it flowing up through the base of your spine and filling your limbs and your torso with strength and life force. And feel that energy flowing to your heart. And then you're flowing up through the trunk of the tree to the top of your head, to the crown. And again out to the right into the limb, the lowest limb on the upper right, the limb of peace, deep inner peace. Rest in that deep inner peace, which is always available. Feel that deep inner peace flowing in through this limb on the right side, the lower right limb. Feel that peace flowing in along that limb, in through the top of your head, down through the center of your brain, and down into your heart. Now flowing from your heart down to the base of the trunk, out to the left, the uppermost left root, the root of joy. Joy in the beauty of creation. Smile with the joy of beauty in creation. Allow that root to absorb that feeling of joy and beauty. And feel that feeling of joy flowing in through that root, flowing up into your heart. Feel that joy in your heart. Now we're going up through the trunk again to the crown. This time out to the left, to the lowest branch on the left. Out into that branch extended out to the left, which absorbs the energy of power, divine power, power that guides and directs action. So it's a benevolent power that guides action. And absorb that power of guided action. Through that limb, the lower left limb. And feel that energy flowing along that limb. Down into your heart. And feel that guidance in your heart. And flowing from your heart down through the trunk of the tree. Going to flow down to the right into the uppermost right root. This is the root of the sun. The sun empowers us, gives us that energy of empowerment. The solar root. And feel the connection of that root of the sun with your solar plexus. At the base of your ribs, right in the center, that upper abdomen, that center of empowerment. That elemental energy of the sun empowering the actions which are guided. Now feel that solar energy flowing up through the trunk of the tree into your heart. Where your heart shines like the sun. from your heart upward, up through the trunk of the tree, through the crown, out again to the left, to the next higher limb on the left. Feel up through that limb, extending up and out to the left, the limb of love, unconditional love, which purifies all emotions. Feel up to that energy of love, purest spiritual love. The love which connects us all. Feel that love shining in through that limb. Which absorbs it and brings it down. Down through the top of your head. And down into your heart. Feel that love in your heart. Your heart shining with love. The warmth of love. Now flowing down through the trunk of the tree, down into the root on the right, just below the one for the sun, the root of water, the element of water, the water of emotions, the water which flows through the body as blood. Feel into the element water. The ability to flow through life with love. Feel that watery element absorbed in through this root. Up into your heart, which pumps that water as blood through your whole body. The water of life, the lifeblood of the body. Now flowing upwards again, up through the trunk, up through the crown, to the left, up to the highest limb on the left, the limb of wisdom. Wisdom which enlightens all thoughts. Feel that limb of wisdom enlightening all thoughts. Bringing inspired ideas. Allow that upper and left limb to absorb the energy of wisdom. Feel that wisdom flowing down through that limb, down through your crown, down through your brain, enlightening your mind. And flowing down from your mind to your heart. True wisdom is that connection of mind and heart, inspired by spirit. Now feel down through the trunk of the tree, down to the roots, down into the right side, to the lowest root on the right side, the element air. We inspire air. We breathe in air. Feel the element of air. The light in the air. The lightness of air. Feel the connection of that root absorbing air. Feel the connection of that up through the base of the trunk up into your lungs. And take a deep breath in, inspiring the element air, which diffuses through all your cells. Breathe in, filling your lungs from bottom to top. Inspiring air. Now feel between your lungs into your heart. Allow the element air to infuse your heart. That elemental lightness. Feel all these energies gathered in your heart. Feel these energies connected downward from your heart into the seven roots, all at once. Feel up through the top of the trunk, up through the top of your head, into all seven branches. Feel the connection from your heart upward through all seven branches. And again, feel this whole tree of life at once. The branches, the trunk, the roots, All the energies communicating with each other, flowing through your heart in perfect balance and integration. Breathe in and out through your heart. This center point of connection, of integration, of wholeness, above and below, united in your heart. Now let go and rest in this wholeness of light, life, of heaven and earth as one. Allowing these energies to all work together, balancing, harmonizing. Let go of any doing and simply be here, now, in perfect harmony. And just notice how you feel. Record that feeling deeply. Really soak it in. Let it saturate your being. Very slowly begin to open your eyes. You can, all these faces of the one life we all share. Thank you for your practice. And so as you allow that experience to stay with you, If there's anyone who would like to share about your experience, I welcome that. Marjorie.
It's quite a journey, Kevin.
I told you it would be.
Yeah, it was a weekend workshop. We did it in an hour, or
Yes.
about an hour. Um, but I had, well, I got in, for some of you, I probably don't know, but I got a new knee in April. So then you go through the whole PT process. And so it's all been about your posture. So I got tired of hearing about hold your shoulders back, tuck it on, suck it up, whatever. And so I created a pyramid. I can be a pyramid. That's easy.
Gotcha.
So I planted the living tree in the pyramid.
Mm, mm,
So that way I can hold the thoughts
mm,
because otherwise they flake out.
mm, mm,
And I just made that up. I mean, that's just
mm,
what happened.
mm, mm.
So that's what I got to have is a pyramid to hold the training,
Nice.
weekend training that we did in an hour.
Nice. I call that an inspired idea.
Well, it will stay with me
Yes.
because when you somebody says to stand up straight, you think, oh, really?
Mm, mm,
But when you have the impression that you're a pyramid, and if were all pyramids, which we are,
mm,
it can hold all of this,
mm. Nice.
and it doesn't. We don't forget it because the pyramid holds it.
Mm,
Real good backup.
mm. Nice. Love
Thank
that.
you, Kevin.
Thank you, Marjorie.
Thank
Great imagery there.
you.
Can feel that. Deb? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Good. Okay. Um, from the beginning, after the description, then we began the meditation, the strongest sense I had or feeling I had was that of completeness.
Mm, mm,
Like I don't know what word to use. Every aspect of me was recognized, was part of
mm,
it.
mm, mm,
So, and that persisted throughout the whole. I just felt, you could say, the wholeness of it, but it was just like nothing was forgotten in me.
mm. Oh, nice.
Everything was attended to, became a part of it.
Nice.
That was there. And for some reason, the brightest moment was wisdom.
Mm,
I have no idea,
mhm,
why, but it just
mhm,
was. Just the brightness of light coming in
mm, mm,
was with wisdom. But yeah, it felt like, wow, very, very whole,
mm,
very whole. Yeah,
mm.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Abby. Yes, I see the Abby finger. Good to see you, Abby. Still muted. There you go.
Nice to see you too, Kevin, and all of you.
Mm,
Like Douglas said, it was very whole experience. It was a very integrative experience,
mm,
and it took into account all the aspects that conform our humanity,
mm,
and it concentrated everything in our heart. So I really liked it, and it's a different perspective of the tree of life in the Kabbalah. So
mhm.
it was quite different, but I really, really liked it.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I know you have a lot of experience with that, the Kabbalah. Yeah.
Not that much, but thank you, Kevin.
Yes, thank you. And also with the Hebrew tradition. So I think you brought that. It was so perfect that you were on today because
Ah,
you brought that energy to our group. So thank you for that. I think we needed that for this practice. So thanks for being here.
thank you.
Yes, Sandy, and then Monica.
Thank you so much. That was such a wonderful treat. Back in 1985, I was only 35, but I started to learn about the Essenes and read a lot about them and adapted much of my lifestyle to their practices. They're so natural and so loving and so kind to all creation. So to hear you talk about it today and me back into the Essenes structure of how they lived their life, and possibly Mary and Joseph and Jesus and the apostles, thinking about Magdalene, maybe, they all possibly lived that lifestyle. It takes you back. But when you first started, and I just felt so grounded, and it's as if I felt everyone on the Zoom today, yourself especially, bringing all of us together across the world, across the globe. I just felt such a energized connection, and it was just so beautiful. So I thank you tremendously from the top and bottom of my heart and from my roots to my branches. Thank you so much. It was beautifully done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. Yeah, so I think you brought a lot of that Essene energy to us too with your background in that. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah, the more I learn, the more I'm really fascinated with their lifestyle. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Monica?
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin. That was so beautifully led, and it's so great to see everybody. And Evie, it's so good to see you. Yeah, even before you started talking, I'd love your perspective on this, Kevin. I sat down and my head just already started. Like it was like it just started before we even started. So that was interesting.
Mhm.
And as we were going through all the different roots and branches and heart, I felt some of them more strongly, like wisdom and love were real strong for me
Mhm.
today. And then I did notice too that it still is happening. Like my lips, my teeth are kind of pulsing in my head,
Mhm.
on my heart. It did feel for me, and I wonder what you think about this, is it feels like it kind of got a little stuck here. Like it was here, but it was having trouble moving down. So it's like a lot of it was kind of hanging out in my head. And then it just feels like it's almost like there's a clog today with it. And I don't know what you think about that, or
Mhm.
because I feel like pretty open, but it felt like yeah, needed like Drano or something.
Well, I think that, yeah, I think that's a good point about kind of the nature of the earth energies and the lower energy centers, which is um, kind of, you can see is going in through the subconscious. And often there's a lot of energy stored in, whether it's in the diaphragm or the hips or the lower chakras, that um, is not yet kind of digested and recognized and purified, so to speak, in the language of this practice. Um, so, and I think that's one of the powers of this practice, is just connecting, like the kind of the energies which, um, some of us are more familiar with, or operating that kind of spiritual energy, heart energy, really connecting down through that, the subconscious and the earth and the more um, elemental energies. Um, so I think it's appropriate that all of us would feel more connections, different places than others, based on our life experience, what we bring to the practice. And yeah, what I love about this practice is that it's an opportunity to become aware of all these different energies and allow them to work and integrate and harmonize with a greater intelligence than our own conscious ego.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it feels like just as you're talking and as I'm feeling my body, it feels like maybe I haven't taken in some of these energies, and they're like slowly the tingling's going away.
Mhm.
Almost like maybe like my system needs
Mhm.
a little more time so it can throughout
Yeah.
the night to kind
Yeah.
of move it. Like I can feel it starting to move, but it was almost like it was just like
Yeah.
down. It was like I've given it permission and just flooded in like
Yeah.
energy. And I feel like it's very positive. I think
Yeah.
it's just very just trying to find its route down,
Mhm.
like a
Yeah,
down.
maybe like a Reiki session where your body takes in the energy, but then it processes over the next period of time and integrates and kind of does its work on subconscious levels.
Yeah, and just like I agree, and just like as we're talking, like I'm starting to feel my feet tingle now. Like,
Mm. Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting. It's really great practice. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Thank you. Mm. Anyone else? See, Anne leaning forward. Yes. Okay. Mhm.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. I just really want to say thank you. Thank you for the time you give to this, and thank you to everybody. Like Monica, it all kind of started for me before it started. It was just like as soon as you turned the link on, I just felt everybody in
Mm.
our group straight away, and I just felt that connection, and it was just such a warm, connected feeling right from the very beginning.
Mm.
And then through the process of it's almost like finding slightly different vibrations, I suppose, in the roots or
Mhm.
the branches. And sometimes they were more distinct than others.
Mhm.
Probably my most consistent feeling through all of it was the blending of joy and peace. I think were
Mm.
just the most consistent sort of feelings that I
Mm.
had,
Mm.
rather than being able to separate them all. I felt a blending more than anything.
Mm. Nice.
It was lovely. Thank
Oh,
you.
beautiful. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, and I
And a
think
very interesting introduction too. I didn't know anything about that.
there's a lot more, but this, and
Bet.
that was a lot to put into one practice, but it felt really, as we've been talking about, like it really get a sense of wholeness and integration by doing it all together at once. Um, and I can also see how doing it in a weekly cycle would give a whole sense of wholeness to a whole week, right? And then you cycle around each week. It gives what a beautiful structure to a week of practice, right? It's just cycling through all those energies. So, yeah, thank you, Anne. Beautiful. Yeah, Dan. There you go.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I'm sensing a feeling that after going through it the way you did lead it beautifully, and after going through the whole of it that way,
Mhm.
now it would be good to go through it in that kind of sequencing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have the feeling of the wholeness. And now that would give me, I don't know how to say it, more it would allow me the freedom to go through it step by step.
Yeah.
Without
Really
wondering what
explore
this is going
each
to be and what
energy.
that is going to be. Now
Yeah.
the freedom to explore each energy. Yeah, exactly. So excellent. And your leading, it was beautiful, really.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, and this in the structure of the week, then all the earthly energies are the morning practice, and all the heavenly energies are the evening practice. Yeah. Yes, Marjorie.
So, Kevin, would we be able to get you to post that Tree of Life so that we could print it from?
Yeah.
That would be helpful for me because
Okay.
I'm so visual.
Okay. Yeah. I just got it off the internet. And I looked really hard to see the attribution, like where it came from. The best I can see is that it comes from the work of Edmund Bordeaux Zeckley, who wrote a book called The Essene Gospel of Peace. But if you just Google
Okay.
Essene Tree of Life image,
Okay.
you'll get some various images that you could
Okay. All
print
right.
out there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else before we go?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all. It's wonderful to be here. And as
Thank
so
you.
many of you said, just right when, the group gathers, you can feel the energy. There's such an energy that's developed in this group over the years. So thank you for all for being a part of it.
Thank
And
you.
Nice seeing you.
great to see you, Ebby. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you all for joining us on Enlightened World Network or on the replay. And we do this on Enlightened World Network, these Raising Our Vibration meditations, the first and third weekend of the month. And then every Thursday night, we do our ROV meditation book club sessions at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And all of them are open to all. And you can find the links on the Raising Our Vibration community Facebook page. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Lots of love to all of you. Thanks for joining. Look
Thanks.
forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
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 Take care.
Everybody.
Bye.